Let's get it. Yeah.
Yo, what's good, folks? Another
We're back
episode of
again,
Early.
bro.
We're back in here, man.
Early, real early.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed to the channel,
We're gonna stop telling y'all to do that. We about to get on this marketing shit and all that. Y'all not really listening. It's all right, though.
subscribe to the
It's all right.
channel and hit the notification bell, all of that. Now let's get into the show.
For sure, man.
Brooke, last week we were talking about Fan Day and Friends, the event you and Sar were putting on.
Right.
I went to that joint Friday night.
Facts. I just happened to be at the
vibe.
door. And
Yeah, facts.
Like,
it was like perfect timing type shit.
Yeah.
Wait, were you not posted up there for a minute? You just had gotten that. Yeah,
I just got,
that was funny. I'm not gonna hold you.
To be mindful of, like, look, bro. As people with media backgrounds, I had a camera in my hand, so I'm definitely shooting like this infrared VHS type shit with the camera that I had, but I'm still being mindful. I have to check in with everybody, make sure everybody this ain't
say your what's ups and all that.
Yeah, I'm like, there's a lot of cameras on deck right now. I don't need to be like pressed to catch everything. So yeah, it was just really checking in with everybody that was working, make sure everybody cool and everything like that. However, I can help anybody. But yeah, all in all, the first Fan Day and Friends event, that shit was a success. Obviously, as you look back on it, there's a lot of different things that we could have did better, changed up. But I feel like just natural progression of things. This is just how it goes the first show. Yeah. So, but more good than cons. And it's also kind of cool because some things are coming up out of it already.
Word.
So
what were like some of the people that were there? What did they have to say? Like some of your homies that
but for sure. But not even necessarily
feedback. What's the feedback?
Yeah,
like?
Exactly, right? Because I know the homies, they loved and all that, but I was more so, curious to see what people felt that I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? They didn't fuck on a show like that. But,
like people that you didn't know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So when we dropped that recap at the top of the week, the reception was love. Like it was either people that are like, yo, that shit was crazy. Yeah. To have been there, or the
wish you would have been there.
Like, a lot of, yo, why did you when did this happen and shit like that? So I was like, that's so funny, because that also does let us know. It's like, all right, could definitely have more so of a presence in the lead up of the event. Definitely don't want I didn't know about. I'm like, oh, all right, well, that's on us.
It's like if you didn't come, it's because you had something to do, not because you didn't know about it.
Right, exactly. So if that was the case, it's like, all right, bet we gotta do this exposure shit. But like, shout out.
Although I will say, sometimes people be capping with that. Like,
you're right.
Sometimes it's like people that be like, oh, you should have told me, but it's like they wanted a personal invitation. It's like, dog, like, there's so much going on. I can't just give out personal invitations. I can't text everybody like, yo,
like I have not been that person that once in my life or something like that. Like, I know that, but I'm about to say, tell me.
Yeah.
Like me to come
I would say that comes from, like, in my experience, it's like, people see the thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know that, algorithms be like, they don't always show you everything that everybody you follow is doing. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could follow somebody and not see their post. I know that's real. But yeah, sometimes I'm just like, nah, like, I've been promoting this too long. There's no way you didn't, like, there's no way you follow me, see all my other posts and don't see this one. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Nah, 100%. But like, overall, bro, the reception was amazing. And now kind of, pat ourselves on the back the next day.
Yeah.
And, decompress, like, all right. And then on Sunday, so it was on Friday, Friday, Saturday is kind of just, decompress, good job and all that. Sunday, returning a lot of material, rental equipment, things like that, having a debrief meeting. Shout out Ferg, who we've had the family on this show. Shout out Ferg, who is our host, and also the White Dude.
He did a good job too.
He did a great job. Really love that. And then also shout out Amber Rain, the fucking best production coordinator that you can have as it pertains to like having on an event show and shit like that. And I actually met her not too long ago, a month ago, on, I think I was talking to you, the Kingpin Slim video shoot. She was the production. She was the producer for that set. Yeah. So I met her a month before actually working with her for this. She was amazing. Definitely gonna try to have to get her to come on the show. But like, all in all, bro, you learn, like, in a show, it's like, damn, even with Amber coming on, didn't know how many things we actually needed to have covered until somebody is telling you, yo, we need this, that, and the third. And I'm like, yo, where would we be if we didn't have you telling us that and keeping us even the day of, right? Sound check, timing, like, yo, in, out, like, because we need to get everything else set up. The show, the doors opening at 7, so we don't really have too much time to, like, you know, lollygag or shit like that, or miss times for sound checks or shit like that. And there's so many moving parts. Like, shout out Destin too. Like, everybody's just had a role. Like, bro, can you go pick up this? I'm going to go get the lights. Yo, you stay back here, put the stage and all that shit together. So fast forward, it was amazing. Shout out to the artists as well. But yo, what I, you know, Papa, AB, Nast, Paco, Kilo, Custo, the rhyming.
I was about to say, you rapping, or are you going down the lineup?
Yo, that was hilarious. Cash Jones, the QP, all of them.
Yeah.
And then shout out 10K. It was funny too. Like, you know, we learned, because I don't know if I actually talked to you about this, but our headliner was 10K Duncan. And he was the only artist that came from Atlanta from the show. But interesting enough, you would have thought Kilo was the headliner if you were at the show, because she performed last.
Oh, okay.
But after that, what we noticed was like a big, like, departure. Like, it was really an exodus of people just leaving.
After she went on, or after?
Yeah, after she left. And we're kind of like, damn, did we make the mistake of maybe making this show, like, the show was amazing to this point, but was it so DMV heavy to the point that niggas weren't even aware of 10K? Because that was our headliner.
Yeah.
So,
well, how was the crowd reacting when he went on?
So this is the thing. I'm telling you, bro, there's
she went last.
Yeah.
Okay. So that means everybody was there.
And there's probably about like a 20-minute gap in between him coming on for his set.
Wait, but she went after him.
No, she went last. She was
the last person.
She was the last one before him. Exactly.
Oh no, that's okay. That's so she didn't go last. That's what I'm saying.
No,
he went last.
No.
But he was the headliner, but she went last out of the openers.
This is no. But listen to what I'm saying. No, he didn't end up not performing at our venue.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. Kilo actually happened to be the last performance.
Oh,
we made this little executive decision. Yeah. We're looking. We're like, bro, it's like a stab. Like, don't get it twisted. That's people working right now for us. Yeah. And then we got some folk, and I'm like, damn, everybody kind of left. I was like, damn, we might have miscalculated making this so DM heavy first, because everybody was like, we're out.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, we got 10K. So we kind of hit, I hit Bree, because she was doing like after party at the Songbird.
Yeah.
So I said, yo, y'all have time for a 10K set? I'd much rather tell him to go there where it was more populated than the venue.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we did.
Okay.
Now, unfortunately, I didn't really care to put it in the recap, because that is a totally different venue.
Looking.
It's different, like the lights, the curtains, like we didn't have that. So I was like, let me just make them separate and shit like that. So that was something we definitely.
But did like how did his set go over there?
His set went well. Yeah. His set went well, and he's an artist. So he was not discouraged or nothing like that. And, you know, this is definitely on account of even SAR, because they had a personal relationship. So he didn't mind coming out at all.
Yeah.
And he still gave a great show. It was just like, damn, bro. We're like, because we actually didn't even have to put him on the headline. We didn't even have for the show to have been a success. It was. Yeah, facts. But it's still like, that is an artist that you paid to book. You feel me? So these are the things like, wow, didn't even have to do that. You know,
that's funny.
So you learn, you know, but at the same time, it was like, locale is also interesting too, because we figured, yo, in New York, that wouldn't have been the case. It wouldn't
like a low key. Like, wait, I don't know how low key is.
One thing that made me realize is, you know, really paying attention to those analytics in terms of who listens to artists regionally is important, because you see artists all the time come out of town and sell out shows, but you can't just say any artist that you've seen really do great at a show can just come to your town and do the same thing. So this is one thing I was like, kind of you know, we kind of like overestimated that, kind of got a little bit more got to be a little bit more intentional. We thought we was intentional, like we gotta get a little bit more into
you gotta get, kind of like you said, you gotta get into the numbers by the region, which is hard to do if you aren't the person yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like 100%. Something that I kind of learned working with Lauren Lionel is that same vibe. It's like you can go. the first show that I ever shot for them was in Philly, where they're from, and the crowd was like crazy. I was like, damn, this is a big crowd for a podcast that's like the same size as like a podcast that I'm like, oh, I work with podcasts this size all the time, but this is a big crowd. You know what I'm saying? Then we go to New York, same kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? Sell out. It's a pretty. New York is a small area, so their venues are smaller, but they sold that out. It was when we went to Atlanta, a lot of motherfucking people. You know what I'm saying? Like Atlanta was probably like, as far as like the number of people, the biggest joint. You know what I'm saying? The venue was like probably the biggest venue. And then we go to somewhere like I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know. Well, Boston, they had to like X Boston because it just didn't do any numbers. You know what I'm saying? It didn't make sense like monetarily. You know what I'm saying?
Like it's all ticket wise. So let's
exactly. But that's the thing. That's the thing, because you go into their comments. Usually when they post something, they'll be like, "What city should we come into?" And in their comments, people will be saying all kinds of cities. But you can't just like take that and be like, "Oh, like we're gonna hit that up that." Yeah, because you got to actually see if people are gonna, you know what I'm saying, if you're gonna sell out a venue or if you're gonna pack the place out.
Isn't going to the link and buying.
Facts. Or even commenting like, come to North Dakota. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. So to your point, it's all like learning and living and learning for sure. 100%. But I mean, from my vantage point, that joint definitely looked like it was rocking. It looked like people were having a good time for sure. Food was on point, drinks was on point, so it was a good little.
So what's so funny, you would right prior to us just going live, you had talked about the media, and definitely shout out to everybody that was involved when it came to media. Right, we had, to be honest with you, we had a short staffed media team. Shout out Nadia, myself, and to be honest with you, that we had somebody else that was supposed to actually capture some video, but they ended up not being able to make it. So I was actually really grateful that we were emphasizing, media is welcome. This ain't no media pass type thing. Right? If you want to bring your camera, feel free. And I made sure to get the contact of like most everybody that had a camera. And like when I use that recap, that was collaborative. I did edit it, but I shot probably about 20% of the footage you see in there. A lot of that was because of the media from people that was there. And I thought that was also amazing because I'm like, I started to see on the week, this week that just played out, I'm seeing all this content from our shit. And I'm like, damn, like on their personal
that's also
pages,
a great that's also a great feeling, dog.
Amazing.
That's also great.
I didn't even know that
to
was
see it from other people's, it wasn't me in the
picture. I was
facts. But just to
awesome.
see it from other people's eyes, through other people's eyes.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Exactly. So like now how we're thinking is always trying to leverage that. So obviously tapped into these people. These are probably gonna be the same people, like, you know what I'm saying, when the next one come out, y'all did amazing shit. We're, for like somebody that wasn't able to make it or shit like that, we're gonna try to keep the consistency. Like, if you want to come out for this, we'd love to have you come out. Shout out Paco too. Paco threw a crazy set, and now we're actually about to help him throw his next show. He actually reached out a couple days after the event, and he was like, trying to collab. I'm trying to have a show like for myself. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, hell
that's how it works, man.
Exactly. Like,
you always the thing itself, the thing that you do is also your marketing tool for this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like I make podcasts, I live stream, all this type of shit because it gives me podcasting business. You know what I'm saying? 100%. Like not because I'm trying to be a podcaster or like Charlamagne the Goddard. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is what I do to get this is essentially marketing.
And that's one thing that I really love, because now I'm like, man, being able to sell our potential like workflow, it's like, well, so we can set it up and craft it for you guys, and y'all put the money into this shit. And tell us your cuts or what you need on the front end, what you need percentage wise on the back end. And I'm like, this is the position to be in. I like this. I really like this, because one thing you and not just from this experience, but one thing that you notice a lot sometimes with creatives are they may have the talent, they may have the sauce, but they really the direction.
They don't want to do, but also the execution.
Right, exactly.
Everybody don't want to do the
100%.
shit. Like everybody don't want to go in there 3-4 hours early and set up. Everybody don't want to like have the phone calls days before. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't want to do the running around.
Bro, that infrastructure is so important.
Pick something up there.
Even to nudge somebody to do it. Like, yeah, maybe everybody might not take initiative, but if everything's set in place, yo, make that call.
And to your point, get on it. Like, to your point, people don't even be knowing what they got to do. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like what you said with your production coordinator. Like sometimes somebody will tell you, oh, like we need to do this, and you're like, why? You know what I'm saying? Not why as in like I don't want to, but why as in like, oh, I didn't even know that was needed for this.
100%. And then now one thing too that also is a really big plus in terms of the media, to now populate, social media pages and YouTube pages, shit like that. Now I can literally go back into a pitch deck and revise, basically make a whole new pitch deck for this event. Because now the content that we have within the pitch deck is original content. It is literally, we are literally referring, and it looks great. It's like, yo, this is something that you want to maybe possibly invest into. And we're talking to like brands or things like that. So that's one thing that I'm really excited about, to actually like curate that deck again and kind of send that back out. Kind of also got a better understanding of what is needed in terms of what you have to present a brand that may have some dollars for you, what you need to, how you need to come in terms of, okay. And literally not even just in terms of like the info, shit like that, but the time. Like we need time. Don't just because you're on a rush doesn't mean we're about to rush with you. Like give us about 6 weeks before your next shit, and we can see exactly what resources we can allot to you, your event, and shit like that. And one thing too that I've been also trying to think of is kind of having a bigger perspective in terms of for sponsors, like I was talking to shout out Jazz, she'd be like, yeah, obviously beverages, liquor, shit like that. But she's like, think more though. Like what else could you get sponsored that also aligns, right? And like, for instance, we're thinking, so next time we're like, we really need to have media days with each artist type thing. And we're like, okay, so the media day that actually presents an opportunity for another sponsor. Maybe we have somebody brand like New Balance, or just, for name's sake, just to be like, yo, can you provide us some merch so we could do like this actual shoot and everything, push the actual artist. As you see, the artist has a demographic following. It's not like we're just trying to get free product from you all, show you how it makes sense for you guys, and possibly if we can have, some money to power up this event, shit like that. So just getting in that type of mind. So it's really dope. It's really dope, and definitely don't want to like drop the ball on it, or, like I was saying, in these days, bro, in terms of the goals that we be having and shit like that, I don't get too complacent.
Yeah.
Good or bad.
Yeah.
The best thing in the world could happen tomorrow. And like I said, I can take that time for myself to be like, enjoy this today.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow I'm like, all right, bro, let's get back on it.
Like, facts. So. I know for me, that's kind of what my mind does. You know what I'm saying? My mind be like, oh, I want to do, like, I immediately go into, okay, how could I make this better for the next time? Or what can I do to improve it? Like, and it's not even, I don't look at it as on some maniacal work ethic. I don't look at it like that. I just look at it as like, because I remember after one of the Time to Cuff joints, I immediately went on a vacation to Cuba, like right after, you know what I'm saying? And while I was there, I was sitting there thinking like, because we just like literally the event was over, maybe like the next like 2 days I was in Cuba, and then I was like while I was there, I'm just like, I'm enjoying myself, enjoying my time, but I'm sitting there thinking like, damn, like this is what we got to do for the next time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just like where my mind was. You know what I mean? It's like it's partially being off of a high of, damn, this went so well, and partially being off of a like a critiquer or a critic, where you're like, it went well, but this is what I can do next time to make it go even better. This is how I can improve upon how well it went last time, stuff like that. So I feel like 100%. All that shit makes sense. But let's take a second and then we'll be right back. We'll start talking about like sports, NFL, NBA. Yeah, man. So Where should we start? Should we start with NFL?
Let's start with the NFL because NBA about to start.
Coming, so and I feel like we got a lot to say about NBA.
Yeah.
But if we run through NFL right now, we were kind of talking earlier about how there's kind of like a changing of the guard of the great teams right now. I don't know, because great is a strong word, only because great to me means that you've been good for extended amount of time. You know what I'm saying?
Say a leveling instead of a changing. I'll be like, there's a leveling in the way
leveling out.
Yeah, because I feel like, and I think overall, I guess for personal consumption, I would say it's better for the audience. That it's like that, because now, even the games that are one-sided, sometimes you're like, whoa, I did not see that being out of that team,
or like I didn't see that team turn it up like this. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So,
like when the Dolphins score 70 points, I mean, it's the Broncos, but
they
still
weren't good. It's like, oh wow, okay. But then I seen the Dolphins get smacked in the mouth by the Bills the next year. So I'm like, damn, who are y'all? I don't know who y'all are. Facts. And then same thing with the Bills, Jets. Take them out, but then they looking like, yo, the Bills really looking serious.
They're getting right back on track.
Then boom, they'll take an L to the Jaguars.
I'm not gonna hold you. I thought but you know what's funny? I could like we were just talking about the Jaguars. I was like, the Jaguars are starting to roll. They're starting to roll.
Exactly. But even though yesterday I felt like that was like, yo, shout out Etienne. Like, you know, I feel like even with the Jaguars, a lot of
Jaguars were shooting themselves in the
like
foot
Trevor Lawrence. I'll be like, come
on,
bro. Like it wasn't you. It was a team effort.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, interesting. Because like, how do you feel about Trevor Lawrence?
Trust me, he's the quarterback.
Okay.
I don't have doubts in that way, but I'm just saying your play has kind of been average, bro. Average. It started off like okay, and now it's kind of like
You mean in his career or
no, this season type shit? Because I'm now I feel like we're getting to the point. It's like people want to see that breakout. We see the Burrows, we see the Allens, we seeing all these quarterbacks. So it's kind of like our standards are raising. Like, yo, show us you're just generational guy. He's the guy. But
I think he is, but it's like
have a really good team. Like that's what happens when you got weapons everywhere.
Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley. I was watching them play last night.
Really
I was like, damn,
you don't even get that shit.
I was watching them play last night. Etienne is a monster. First of all, I don't know if I've ever seen him like actually play in a game. Like, but he's a monster. Even though he had 2 touchdowns, but outside of that, his stats didn't like jump off the screen. But like watching him run, I'm like, oh, this guy's talented. And then they got Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley. They got a lot of weapons over there. For Trevor Lawrence to work with, but the Saints, I don't think got it going on. They're weird.
You know, Kamara, you know, man, 7 years in, you know, still like, yo,
Kamara's still a beast. He's still a beast. Like, there's no question there.
He still is.
But Derek Carr, I used to be a big Derek Carr guy when he was in Vegas.
And I won't say I was a Derek Carr guy, but I definitely would not.
I would
definitely come in to like defend him a little bit.
And I'll be like, any game that he's in and he's got his weapons, he can win. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could, not any. Don't get me wrong, not any, but like I look at him as. There was a point when he had like the most fourth quarter comebacks in the league. You know what I'm saying?
And now I have a totally different outlook on Derek Carr. And unfortunately, it's kind of like bordering on, bro, you look kind of washed.
Yeah. Now, I'm there too.
Now, you know, he's getting his yards, like he gets his pass yards and shit, but that boy,
they don't finish drives. They don't finish drives.
That boy can't score in the red zone.
Bro, I was watching that game.
5 at a point in the red zone, and I said, and they only scored like 3, and they got 3 field. I was like,
they had 9 points up until the like 3rd or 4th quarter.
And I'm just like, this.
And I'm watching that going because I bet on the Jaguars money line, and I'm watching that, and I'm like, dog, Jags. I was like, don't let these motherfuckers like. I was like, end this. You know what I'm saying? Like, end this game. Right, and then they did come all the way back because they were down, 24-3 at one point? 24-9 going into, 24-9 going into the 4th, I think. And then I'm like, dog, like, put these motherfuckers away. Lo and behold, they do come up and tie it. But I'm like, the Saints all game have been struggling offensively. You know what I'm saying? Like, their defense came up with a couple turnovers that definitely, literally, I'm watching them in the first quarter.
Pick 6.
Oh, did they take one to the crib? I remember there was one.
It was so short. It was like a 30.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, yo, Derek, bro.
Yeah. There was one. Oh, to end the game. Yeah. But I remember at one point the Saints force a turnover. Christian Kirk fumbled the ball. Saints get it right back. The Saints go 3 and out on the punt. They muff it, and then they get the ball in the fucking the 10-yard line. They go 3 and now have to kick a field goal. I'm like, damn, this offense is not good. and you got AK on there, like an offense with AK on it, and y'all aren't good. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's funny, bro, because I'm like, got AK. Michael Thomas has now become your second.
And Michael Thomas,
because Olave is your first option.
Yeah, but I'm looking at Michael Thomas like,
is he really that guy?
Yeah, you know,
fair to say. I know he sat out majority last year, right?
Majority of last year, and then all of the year before,
right? Yeah. So I would say, even like, I feel you.
Last year might have been the year that he came back. Actually,
but I think he was on and out.
He was but he did the 2 years prior. I think he was out. You know what I'm saying?
I would say too, though, it doesn't help when Derek Carr is dipping and dinking to fucking the whole, like, bro, there was one series.
AK had 7 catches in the first half.
And AK's a beast, but I was like, yo, Derek, in the first half. There was a series, bro, where 5 straight plays went to AK, and like the gains were nothing until the last 4th down. Like he got a little conversion 4 yard. I was just like, bro, if I'm a player on the offense, I'm literally like, yo, bro, can you like look up?
Yeah,
you are literally throwing to the running back every time. You
safety blanket, safety blanket, safety blanket.
All AK did is like, I'm very important to this team. That's all. Like yesterday was like, yo, don't let like the age, whatever. I am very valuable to this team. Yeah, you know,
it don't matter what else is going on around him. Like he's gonna get.
And I'm not gonna lie, you know, them noises for Jameis will, I feel, get louder.
I will say also too, Fabian Morrow
is not some.
Fabian Morrow dropped
above Winston.
Not leaps and bounds for sure. But Fabian Morrow dropped a touchdown pass at the end of that game. Did you see that?
I did.
Like he literally like. Ball went into his hand. It was a 3rd down, I think. Like literally, like under a minute left. It was their last chance to score. And he dropped a touchdown pass in his hands.
Quarterbacks are always going to take that brunt.
They got to just like, what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say? He sucks. Like no.
It's like Lamar last weekend. You seen how many fucking drops?
Yeah.
Dropping shit. But then at the end of the day, what people gonna criticize? Damn, that pick Lamar, that was crucial. It's like, no, bro. If the
we shouldn't even have. We shouldn't even have been in this position.
You know, but it is what it is.
You know? I want to know like if there's any teams that you're like super impressed with right now around the NFL. Impressed, yeah.
Let me say this. Not all the way impressed, but shout out to my Bucks. Just kind of holding a fort now.
What the Bucks doing?
They're 3-2. 3-2 right now.
Okay.
No,
they lost to somebody last week because
I
bet against them last week. Who did they lose to last week? The Jaguars, maybe?
I don't think they played the Jaguars.
Nah, I don't think they played the Jaguars either.
No,
the Jaguars played the Bills in London or something like that.
Lions.
Yeah, Lions are good actually. The Lions are still being undervalued by the books though, because I bet on the Lions.
That's my answer. Most impressive.
Yeah, Lions. Yeah,
Lions most impressive.
Yeah,
I was just saying the Bucks just because I definitely thought you
thought you were going to be trash and you paying attention
like
to
or maybe a level above try like you're not relevant. But we're very in our conference. We're very we can win that conference. It's trash. We have Panthers, Saints, and who the other? We got to watch for the Saints, but the other team, Falcons, and Falcons I don't really know.
Falcons and the Saints are kind of the same.
Baker's really this is my playing for my career year, so like. So far, I'm pleased with Baker, but let's get to the Lions. That's my
Jared Goff. Even Jared Goff is because I'm looking at look at the Lions. I think they got a decent running back. I can't remember who's running. I can't remember. Deion Montgomery and
it's
Jameer
Gibbs. Jameer Gibbs? Yeah. You have two-headed monster.
Jamal Williams is he still over there?
Jamal Williams is he played last night. He's on the.
Jamal Williams plays for who? The Saints? Okay.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say?
Goff, bro.
Yeah, Jared Goff. Because when you look at the receiving core, only person I know is Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's a beast.
Tough.
You know what I'm saying? He's tough. But like you hear all these other you know what I'm saying? Jared Goff will have 4 touchdowns and Amon-Ra will have none. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, who is he giving the ball to? I don't know any of the receivers over there, but
one thing I'll say, man, is obviously you understand why the Rams made that move. They wanted a better quarterback in that now, and they got a ball from it. So it was.
And Stafford, like you can't go wrong. I mean, Stafford was.
It was the
honestly.
Right
you asked 3 years ago. Stafford is probably one of the best quarterbacks 100%. In the league.
And I mean, if you ask Orlovsky, he'll tell you the best thrower of the ball still is Stafford. But he doesn't believe him to be top 5. And I'm like, I guess that could be true. But
Orlovsky that be on first take.
Okay. Shit. Right. He's like in terms of like the most difficult throws, he's like Stafford's making them, but like just in terms
but he don't consider him the best quarterback,
right?
Or one of the best quarterbacks,
right? But fucking, I say all that to say, Goff was they kind of sent them to die. In Detroit. Like that wasn't like. Bro,
they weren't good.
With you,
that's why Matt left. That's why they had to send Matt away, because it's like, bro, like we respect you. We want to give you a chance to like play for a contender. They sent him off to Rock, and then they sent Jared off to Rock. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and now look at it. Lions were like, we want to put you in a winning situation the whole time. We're not winners. Now look at fast forward.
They're winners.
An identity shift.
That's a big thing.
I mean,
Dan Campbell over there,
bro. They set the tone. They beat the Chiefs to start the season. Like gotta little things like that. You got to set the tone. Got to change the narrative in here. Even shout out. We also had we had Eric Ebron on our show. You know what I'm saying? Before too, and I've even had a conversation with him before, just ever the franchise, and you're like, all franchises are private businesses. You run them differently. Like the Lions are not the Steelers. It's a different business. So he's like, even back then, like I really do feel like it's a changing of the culture, because Lions were really laughing stocks for a long time. Even when Calvin was in the building, we ain't laughing at Calvin.
No,
we're not laughing at Stafford. We're laughing at everybody else though.
Not laughing at Barry Sanders. And,
now they saying Barry. They're joking. They're like, look, Barry Sanders showing his face now in Detroit. They're like, look, you're not embarrassed of y'all anymore. But Goff is definitely having an MVP candidate season. I'm not gonna go as far as to say he's winning that, MVP, but he's definitely in those.
What
talks.
Are they 5-1?
Yeah. Lions never been 5-1.
No, that's crazy. I was gonna say. I mean, I'm glad you brought them up, because I kind of forgot about them. But I was gonna say most impressive for me is probably the Dolphins. Just because
their coach is not that impressive to me. That guy is different.
What was that?
McDaniel? That boy is a pro. He was really meant for that shit. Like,
and because he's young as fuck. That boy probably like my age, honestly.
Did you see like younger? Like he really been around the NFL his whole life. Like when he was younger, he was like a water boy.
Oh,
like,
word.
Interesting.
Like,
he's destined for this.
Yeah.
He like the new McVay.
McVay also too is like a great young coach. 100%. But McDaniels is definitely going crazy. I'm trying to think, who's the offensive coordinator there? Does he take on like the responsibilities of the offense?
Great question. I do know
because their offense is something stupid, man.
He is an offensive guru guy. So
their offense is something stupid, bro. Like Tyreek going crazy, Jalen Waddle going crazy, A-Chain going crazy, Mostert going crazy. A-Chain is a backup running back, and it don't even make sense, bro. Everybody on there is nuts, and it kind of makes me see. It kind of makes me think, like, because they're playing the Eagles this week, so a lot of people have been talking about the Jalen Hurts versus Tua Tagovailoa thing, because they were both quarterbacks at Alabama. It makes me think, like, damn, Tua don't get me wrong, he didn't like creep onto the scene. Like he came in with a lot of expectation, but I feel like for whatever reason he seems to be like playing above his what's the word I'm looking for? Like he's playing like out of his mind. You know what I'm saying?
Capabilities.
Yeah. Am I tripping off that? Or like, because I didn't really know much about him before he got to the NFL. I don't really pay attention that much to college football. Like I know who like the elites are usually every year, but yeah, outside of that, I wasn't like, what are we gonna get out of a guy like Tua? But when you look at what he's doing this year, I feel like this guy's playing out of his fucking mind.
I feel like, not everybody, sometimes like how we go about evaluating quarterbacks trying to be unfair. Like sometimes we want everybody to be in this Tom Brady situation where it's like, there's nobody. We want to see, make them good. Kind of like,
take whatever team you're on and take them to the Super Bowl.
Like kind of like, look, Mac Jones, I'm not high on him just as is, right? But I will say, if I'm going to come to his defense, what am I working with? I'm working with nothing.
Jacoby
Who's my running? Jacoby Myers not on that team anymore. He's not on that team. They were so like, and this is why Bill needs to stop being the GM. He be so petty. He don't sign players back. He didn't sign Jacoby for like a 3 or 57 million extension that he wanted, but they gave the exact same money, exact same contract to Juju, who's doing nothing. So it's like there's no receivers, there's no running back. Your line's shit. The defense is okay, but
defense can't stop they can't stop like when your offense can't score.
Right. So
they can't just like keep stopping.
So then we're gonna be like, yo, Mac, you're not the guy. I'm like, I'm like, fuck you guys. Like, what the fuck am I? And again, like, sometimes
did they come out and say that? Because I know he got benched again, but is he still the starter?
He actually came out and said he caught a lot of flack. They're saying words came out there like that he had said, like, how am I supposed to ball when I'm playing with trash?
Oh, word.
Mac has definitely, I'm not gonna lie, he ain't doing himself favors.
I'm about to say, like,
been labeled as a dirty player. He has a lot of dirt.
Really?
He has a real, like, go search shit on Twitter. You'll find a little 2-minute shit of Mac Jones just doing like, yo, bro, why
motherfuckers don't like Mac Jones? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. But anyway, fucking
you hear that about Zach Wilson a lot.
But back to and Zach Wilson, I'll say this: he's really holding like
by a
his
thread.
Job by a thread, but he's holding it. He is holding it because
they won last week, didn't they?
And they're in the
they beat?
Mix,
they beat somebody that I need them to lose to. Oh, they beat the Eagles.
Yeah,
fucking Eagles.
Yeah,
fuck that my parlay.
That's why we're talking about, like, the leveling. But
yeah,
back to Tua. It goes to, I mean, I'd be more alarmed if you weren't balling with the team that you have. Yeah. I'd be more alarmed.
Yeah,
you have Tyreek, you have Waddle, you have fucking Mostart, you have A-Chain.
Yeah,
like, you have playmakers all across the board. Your defense is definitely like on some bend don't break. Like, they're good. You got Mike over there too. Like, I'm just like, this is, to me, it's like, this is what you want. This is what you kind of like expect. The numbers is like, it's exorbitant a little bit, but it's like, yo, this is the type of offense we're playing. So I did like to
see how after they got humbled by the Bills, they came back last week and had a great game.
Great response, exactly.
Great response.
So it shows they don't get too high or low. You got to just next game. So.
Facts.
And I do view them as like a dark horse team, same as the Lions. Those are like my dark horse guys. Are they the best? No, but they can definitely have your number type shit.
How do we feel about like teams that are looking like they're struggling? Like I look at a team like the Ravens and the Bengals, and I'm like, what are we getting? Because like like 1 week they'll look like trash. The next week, they might sneak out with a hard-fought W, and then the next week they lose to a team that they shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the Bengals, like, what's going on with you? I'm looking at the Ravens, and I don't know I'm not confident in them. Let me get
to the Ravens first, right? One thing I'll say with the Ravens, man, and as somebody that's definitely I love Lamar. I think he's a great franchise piece for your franchise and shit like that. And I've been critical of him, but to be honest with you, this season it's never been more apparent to me or glaring where I'm like, we came into the season, I thought that the team had done right by him. Gave him Odell, drafted Zay Flowers, you got Mark Andrews, like, it looks like Lamar got some things to throw to, right? Fast forward, and I'm like, yo, Ravens, y'all keep on like finessing Lamar. Y'all are finessing him.
Yo, making it seem like y'all putting the weapons around him.
It ain't vice versa. All I look at Lamar is like, yo, bruh, he really has arguably might have the most of his shoulders on starting quarterbacks in terms of y'all really. It seems
like he always got to do everything.
Take us to the lands. Every time.
Well, but the thing is, like you said, if they are going out and getting players with talent, how is that the Ravens' fault that the talent that they go out and acquire doesn't bring what we bought? You know what I'm saying? Like they're not showing up with what we paid for.
Odell's washed. I think like that. They finessed me. So
Odell finessed them.
He's washed. He's washed. So whatever I thought was like potential number 2 or whatever,
it's not him.
It's done. So that don't even count.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, bro, when are you gonna get injured next? Like, I'm just waiting for it. You're not gonna stay there. You're not. I know you're gonna get injured. Zay Flowers, rookie. So only so much I can expect from him. He's fast as fuck, but rookie, you know what I'm saying? Over the years type shit, he'll definitely be better and be a weapon for sure. But I'm kind of just looking at it like, damn, it's really. And then the running backs,
J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, I think his name is. They always get hurt. These niggas always get hurt. Dobbins,
immediately.
These niggas always get hurt.
That's all. What can you do about that? But I'm looking at the scenario. I'm like, damn, Lamar. It does look like you better ball the fuck out. That's how I see y'all winning. You balling the fuck out. And I'm like, I just think criticism of Lamar is like, yeah, let's just keep that in mind. It really ain't all him.
Yeah.
But the thing is, his standards are so high because he's done so much already in his short time.
Yeah.
So it's understood, but I really do put in like a caveat, like, bro, Lamar, I think if he was really like had the ideal pieces around him, we'd see the development has really been happening.
Yeah.
But he's still being Superman and shit like that. So that's how I feel about that. Bengals, a little bit less of an excuse. I'm really real confused. I don't know if it's a
real confused.
I'm like, I don't know if it's like the Burrow injury nagging or like what the vibe of the team is, but definitely doesn't look like they're about to be returning to any AFC championships.
It don't
Like,
look like
it doesn't
no.
look like that.
No, it don't look like it.
And the offensive line, you know what I'm saying? That shit still never really gets addressed. And it's weird because, you probably have what people would consider one of the best 1-2 tandems in the league with Jamar Chase and Higgins, but like you're not really
Higgins and Tyler Boyd.
On paper, it really wouldn't look like that. You got Mixon. Mixon's a dog.
Mixon, yeah.
So I don't know what it is. I am looking at Burrow, but I'm looking at Burrow. I'm looking at the line, and I'm just kind of looking, I guess, organizationally. Like, did y'all rush it? Like, what's the vibe right now? Because I don't know. I don't know.
You saying Burrow looks hurt?
So that was the fucking narrative, but they keep playing him. So it's like, yo, bro, is he hurt and he's playing, or like, I don't know. Because I'm like, if he's good, then we got to just be honest. He's not really doing Burrow things, you know, but we'll see. But I definitely think they're more disappointing. I think the Browns also, if I want to put in some, not all the way impressive, but Browns holding down the fort considering Deshaun has not been, he's been injured and they've been winning
division,
games,
and Miles Garrett. The last game was the one he didn't play, which I didn't think they beat the fucking 49ers, bro. The two teams that ruined my parlay last week, literally I went 9 for 11. The two teams that ruined it were the Eagles and the 49ers, who were undefeated at the time.
Trent Williams gave that boy Myles Garrett mad praise. He when you got a future Hall of Famer on the other side. I was like, yeah, bro, Myles Garrett is definitely entering into that. I'm him. I'm the guy. Ain't no
Myles Garrett.
I think he gets Defensive Player of the Year.
I was about to say Myles Garrett or Micah Parsons.
Yeah, Michael Parsons. Oh,
no, I'm asking you. Who's better?
Who's better?
Yeah. Or TJ Watt, because I feel like TJ Watt. I don't know how many sacks he has this season, but the last couple weeks he's been going crazy.
TJ Watt, a dog. I'm going to say, I'm probably gonna put it in the order that we had named them.
Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons,
TJ Watt. Boom. Micah is so fucking versatile. It's crazy. You can really put him anywhere.
Yeah.
But I think I literally think Myles is like an unstoppable force. Like, ain't no dealing with me on the line. Like, I'm just hell. Yeah. And I mean Watt too. Watt too is hell. He's hell.
Yeah.
I really can't believe that's really some lineage shit. Like, my brother
was one of the greatest.
I will be.
Yeah, and I'm probably gonna be better than him.
Same with Bosa. Like the Bosa, I mean, that's really it ain't no Brooke Lopez or Robin Lopez.
Yeah. Not facts. But to your point about being an immovable force, it really is something to watch when you see a defensive end like wreak havoc. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really interesting because like
two on the line, like it's like, bro,
because it's also like
so
you're
crazy.
Supposed to. It's like Josh Allen, who's like the best DN for the Jaguars. Right. He was killing last night, and I'm watching him. I'm just like, dog, the way this nigga is just getting to the quarterback. He didn't. I don't know if he had a sack, but they showed like how many rushes he had, like how many quarterback pressures he had. I'm just like, dog, the way this motherfucker is getting to the quarterback. And then you think about a nigga like Myles Garrett or Michael Parsons who just does, and TJ Watt who like just do it over and over and over again. I'm like, damn, it's really crazy when you just can't stop these guys. You know what they do, and you can't stop it. It's crazy to me. But let's go ahead and transition over to NBA.
Man.
NBA starts next week.
I can't wait, y'all. I can't wait. The fan,
what can't you wait for? What are you most excited about to see?
Man, I'm just trying to see if the teams.
I'm trying to see a tip off.
I'm trying to see if the teams that I think are good are actually
going to be good.
And I'm trying to see
like
some of some dark horse teams. Let's see. What are some teams that I'm interested in? I'm interested in low key in the Pistons. I want to see what they got together. They got a lot of young talent there. I want to see how it looks. Yeah, I want to see how it looks. I want to see how the Pelicans look. I want to see if Brandon Ingram takes that next step. I want to see if Zion stays healthy. Like, Pelicans, if they can stay healthy, are an interesting team.
Yeah.
I want to see the Timberwolves. Is Rudy Gobert, Anthony Edwards, and fucking Carl Anthony, is that anything to be do we respect that?
Yeah.
Or do they need to trade Cat and get them up out of there and put them on like the Knicks or whatever?
Yeah.
I want to see that. I want to see the Knicks. I want to see
Jalen Brunson.
next.
Let's see if he comes. I want to see if Jalen Brunson comes. Yeah, I want to see if he has the same kind of year.
Barrett take a leap?
I forgot about Jalen. Last year with Jalen was a great one.
He's the number one. Not like that's what was established last year. Randall, you are the two.
Yeah,
it ain't vice versa. And I want to see Randall take less threes this year, and I want him to see more dominant, like he was in the first half of last season. Get these boards, bro. Beat people up. Nobody is stronger than you down there.
Yeah.
And slash the threes. Hit if you open. You don't need to pull up. Come down and pull up. Just relax. Another team. I definitely want to see, my team, the Lakers. I want to see how cohesive this team is. I want to see AD not get injured. I want to see what we could be if we can really. LeBron. I want to see not LeBron get injured for an amount of time. I want to see this team mesh. Now I'm saying all this shit, bro. Another team I am highly, highly, highly interested in. Again, hopefully they don't fuck it up for me. The Clippers, man. This is year 4. Can y'all niggas be healthy? Because I'm looking at the Clippers.
I want to see Paul George in a deep playoff scenario.
Bro, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Russell Westbrook. If they pull off this trade for Harden and they let Man go.
I heard about that.
Yeah. Basically, Daryl Morey kind of like has literally now he's like on some bare minimum shit. He wants 2 first-round picks and Terrence Mann. And Clippers are not trying to let Terrence Mann go. And really? I'm kind of like,
why?
Look, I understand the why if you're just saying how Harden has been carrying himself these 3 years. I understand that.
Oh, yeah.
If we're talking about the play, I really don't know why y'all holding on the man so hard.
He's young?
And he's a good player, but what is his ceiling? His ceiling is not star.
His ceiling is
I don't even see star. Like he's a
okay.
Really
where do you think?
player.
Where do you think Tyrese Maxey is as a player?
So one thing, and I tell you this.
I look at him as like Tyrese Maxey.
I do, but that's so we would both be terribly wrong. So what I've been talking to a lot of people about, because I ain't gonna lie, I've been very sleep on Maxey. Like sleep, that's the point. Don't even watch his game. Now people are telling me no, Maxey is going to be a 25-point per game scorer in this league.
Whenever Harden ain't there, Maxey goes off for 25, 35.
Man is not that player. Yeah. He is not as tough as Maxey.
Do you remember when Terrence Mann went off for 40 points in the playoff game? Do you remember that?
I do not.
It was like 2 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I only remember because I had bet on his over points that game, and he went crazy.
He went crazy. Yeah. So, I think this is the thing, though. Terrence Mann, or as much as everybody's trying to say Harden averaged 22 and 11 last year. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Let's not
But I feel the whole no, but I do feel the whole character thing, bro. Because
that's real.
Harden is I love James Harden.
I can't argue that.
I love him as a player and a personality, but sometimes the antics just get annoying, bro. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's when you were in Brooklyn, you wanted to go to Philadelphia, you get to Philadelphia, and now you will never play a game for them again. Right. It's like, bro, your mood changes like your clothes. It's crazy.
This is how I view it, though, right? At the end of the day, one thing that we're seeing with Harden that he's doing better than LeBron, better than any player in the history of this league, is as a player, and as we've seen time and time again, you have the leverage, bro. Harden has chosen his situation, whole career.
Every time. So I don't want to be here anymore. I want to be there.
So from
that's annoying to me, though.
And bro, trust me, just
you should absolutely work where you want to work. I'm an advocate of that.
100%.
But how you burn bridges and how you go about that type of stuff is what is annoying.
And I'm kind of like, this is the thing. I'm tabling that because I 100% agree with you. But it's like internally, it's like, well, what am I expecting to see? Am I expecting him to run into a brick wall and say, like, you see, bro, moving like this? You see what? That's not about to happen. There's not about to be like, you see, Harden, this is the shit that you cultivated for yourself. Yeah. He's going to be able to go on to another team because he's going to make it unbearable for the Philly. Yeah. They're going to be like, bro, he's not showing up. We're paying, like, bro, get the fuck out. Like, get out of here then. Yeah. Fuck it. But we can't trade you to a team that will be willing to trade for you.
Yeah.
So what's funny is we hear Heat in the mix. And I'm like, fuck no, he's not going to Heat. Not because I don't think that on the basketball wise, I think that's very interesting.
Yeah.
But I'm like, Heat culture, Pat Riley. When we talking about how you've been moving, I literally am like, hell no, they're not going to bring you.
Yeah, they don't work with them.
But what's also, if I hear that rumor, what also I have to bring into play and I have to be like, yo, this is valid and I got to respect that. The Heat, as well as the Clippers, are brink teams. You kind of have to take a risk at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're right. This player is he's always a problem. Whenever he's checked out, he's going to be checked out. But Clippers, we're on year 4 of this experiment. This is this is a failure to this point, what we did here. It's a failure. And we got Ty Lue, one of the best coaches, like really like every year one of y'all get injured and like that's our season's done. If we bring in Harden, we have Harden, Westbrook, Kawhi, Paul George, Zubac, like you got Bones Highland, you could do your final hurrah. Like, yo, y'all can't like never mind us. You have to respect us. Same thing with the Heat. Look, I know the Heat have been in the finals 2 of the past 5 years. We got to respect them. But, you know, the East, niggas done made additions. Teams is nice. Do I think presently constructed Heat going to the finals? No, I do not think that. If y'all add Harden and give up minimal pieces to get him, I'm going to just say it's interesting. I'm going to just say it's interesting, you know? So that's how I feel about it. Like, because Harden, in terms of how I personally feel about him, I'm like, yo, bro, you really a baby ass nigga. Like, shit kind of wild to see in real time. And I'm like, I hate that your legacy gets stank because you was one of the most greatest players to play this game ever. And you changed
craziest bags, changed the game.
And you changed it too. But now it's like, everybody trying to view what you did to this game as an afterthought. Meanwhile, forgetting that you just literally averaged 22 and 11. Because of your antics, bro. So I'm like, let's not forget that. And his last 2 stops, he's literally been doing what the team wanted of him. So when we say, James Harden, that 30 points, that's gone. It's
you
like,
don't need to do that.
I didn't.
You got him beat there. Why does he got to shoot from 40 feet?
He was complaining that he was like, I want to, like, y'all got the reins on me. I'm trying to. That's what he's been saying. And that's what and that's why I don't again, and why Harden kind of weird. He got Doc Rivers out of there just to be like, I'm leaving too.
I'm leaving too.
Yo, really spiteful guy. Like, yo, you know, like
crazy.
It's hard to fuck with.
It's really crazy. You think about all the teams this motherfucker's played for. Like, I don't know if that really has a bearing on someone's legacy anymore in these times.
Yeah, it's changing, right?
It's you know what I'm saying? But like, but he was one person that I looked at like, damn, this motherfucker played on a lot of fucking teams. You know what I'm saying? Like, but because I think he was in the league when people did want to play for like one team or maybe 2. You know what I'm saying? But now he's still in the league, and we're in a time where, you know, it really don't matter. You know what I'm saying?
James Harden playing in 3 teams since 2021 is nuts. It sounds so crazy.
Yeah.
James Harden? Like, why?
Yeah. It sounds like a Russell Westbrook kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
If you look at the details, you'll find out. But on just the name, you'd be like,
it's like, why wouldn't you want to keep him?
He's a
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking, like a journeyman.
Scrub,
you know what I'm saying? Like he's just happy to be on a team getting a contract. No, like this guy, anywhere he goes, he's gonna play and he's gonna take up a lot of minutes. But it's like, why can't he stay somewhere? You know what I'm saying?
And the fit for his game is kind of like low key. Not a lot of teams want a Harden. As great as he is, I mean, look at the makeup, right? Like Kings, we're good. Warriors, they're good. Nuggets,
I mean, you're talking about teams that have guys that can do what he does, like a De'Aaron Fox and Warriors.
I'm saying there are a few teams. I'm saying Clippers and Heat are literally few of the only teams that need him for what he does. Because everybody else, we have young guys, bro, that are the reason why the Rockets ain't happening. Is because literally, it was crazy. Wendy had said it. He said he came into the meeting and that contract was as good as his, the Rockets, to bring him back. But he literally talked himself out of the contract. They said Harden said, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna average that, like I'm gonna be that same scorer and all that. And Ime was like, red flag, like, no, we actually don't want you to do that. I got Jalen Green, I got Jabari, I got young guys. We don't need you to be shooting that much. And literally, Harden didn't even know. Like after that meeting, they was like,
a no.
They went and got Van Fleet. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. So the thing is, what Harden could do, same thing with Westbrook. Their style of play and what they do to fit them on a team is very difficult. You can't just put them on any team. It doesn't just work because they're gonna try to play their brand of ball when maybe the team is like, no, we need you to play like this, bro. Like, damn, fuck, this ain't gonna work. You know?
A team we didn't mention that I'm interested in seeing how they play out is I mean, like I'm trying to stay away from these big name teams because or the teams with big names on them because like the Bucks, of course, I'm interested in seeing how they
other teams.
fucking Celtics. I'm interested in seeing how they do with Drew Holiday.
That's my favorite to win the ship. That is my favorite.
But a team that I'm interested in seeing like what happens with them young guys is OKC. I feel like Chet Holmgren coming back.
How you feel about OKC before I can say how I feel about OKC?
I want to see what they do. I hope they sneak into the playoffs in that 8th or 9th seed. You know what I'm saying? Or like 7th. You know what I'm saying? I think they can. If Shai does what he did last year, and you add like Lou Dort, who's developed, who looks like he's developed. Chet Holmgren, you know what I'm saying? Who is in his second year now, third year?
technically
first
rookie, right?
You know what I'm saying? But that even that is like good. He's been around the league now. You know what I'm saying?
Joel Embiid, Blake Griffin, these are players that missed their first year.
Yeah,
look how
and that's to me that's good. You know what I'm saying? Like because you don't actually have to put the wear on your body, but you get the knowledge of and the experience of being there.
I'll tell you what, bro.
Giddy is the last person I was saying.
I'll tell you what, bro. And Jalen Williams, I'll tell you what. I think you are vastly underrating that team.
Oh,
they are
like
not,
fourth,
no, they
fourth,
are
fifth
not
seed?
no 7th, 8th, 9th.
Yeah.
They this year, this is my little step. The year the Kings had this year, the last year, watch for the Thunder to really have a Chet, bro. He even though technically rookie year, he ain't no rookie. That boy is going kind of how I feel about Victor. These boys are about to ball day one.
Yeah.
Victor, at first I was like, bro, I seen it. I seen enough.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't even. The Spurs, the way they're about to be relevant, the way the Spurs will be fighting for a play-in.
Yeah.
Because of you have Keldon Johnson and shit but you have Victor, bro, is literally 3 players in one. The shit I see him do on the court is like. The way he be playmaking for his team, the way he be scoring, the way he alters shots is like, yo, those are roles that 3 players on the same time can have. Yeah. And he's literally doing them at a crazy way.
Yeah.
But the Thunder, bro,
yeah,
Shea is that dude.
Yeah.
He is that dude. Chet Holmgren, I think, is really like it's going to be him and Victor neck and neck for rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Like Chet is going to go off.
I hope so.
People really can't really can't guard him. Like,
have you seen
his
him
bag is
play
deep.
in the preseason?
Yeah, his bag is deep.
I haven't seen.
His bag is deep, bro. Like, got the pat, pull up 3, in the corner, like, bro, off the drip, like, whatever, defensive presence. And then Jalen Williams added, like, got big as shit. And last year, he was arguably, after Paolo, he could have won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
And Giddy is a fucking
all around great player.
Plus, though, like I give you 17 and I give you 8 and 8.
Yeah.
Like that's the type of dude I am.
He low key is like a walking triple double. You know what I'm saying? He's like a LaMelo Ball in that way. Like he can get you a triple double on any given night. You know what I'm saying? Especially if he has to be. I remember a couple of times last year when like Shai didn't play for whatever reason, and he had to be the number one. You know what I'm saying? He would do that like 20, 10 and 10, 20, 11 and 11, 23. You know what I'm saying? I like Giddy a lot.
And bro, this is the final thing. If you look at the picks that the Thunder have for 2024 till 2030, they have 15 first. No, they have more than that. They have, I think, 20 first-round picks. They have 4 upcoming in the 2024.
That's crazy.
With 2 of them in the top 10.
That's fucking stupid. That's fucking stupid.
Bro. And the next year, more. They have all the bum teams first-round picks. And I'm like, so a trade is coming.
Yeah.
Because they're super set now. They're super set for the future.
But it's like, how do you add to already a stellar young core?
So
like,
this is the thing.
Everybody can't start, and you can't how much value can you continue to just keep getting?
This is the thing. No, you trade for a legit superstar because you can
and have him share with who? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or
so their big 3. Their big 3 to me would be the Shai, Chet, and whoever they would bring in. Would complement.
And Giddey can be like I'm not saying that he has to be a part of a big three, but like he don't start.
It could be a big four like the South. No. Giddey will start. I'm not
you
sure.
Get
I don't know what position it would. Let's say it's probably going to be it's a wing. It's probably going to be a wing person. And to be honest, the person that they would probably trade again, because if you're trading for a superstar, you have to give somebody promise. It'd probably be a Jalen Williams. Because that is a really promising pick, like person to give. And that's. If they make that move, that's because they say we want to win championship.
Now it's time to win.
Now.
Yeah.
But if they want to go to Warriors route and just keep this team intact, I don't think that's bad either to do.
Yeah.
I don't think this is your year this year.
Yeah.
But I do think what you have intact is super special. It's super special over there. So
I hear that.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought them up.
Yeah. So
Pacers too, man.
Pacers are going to be interesting, but I think we'll dig more next week after the season gets underway for sure. But that's going to do it for this week's episode.
Appreciate y'all.
Go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you have not yet. And we'll see y'all next time on
early.